Hi, this video is going to cover how we are going to upgrade our control cable for the new Infinite Ice controller. The cable that we're talking about runs from the controller to our inverter. In this case we have a TB Woods X2C. This one's a slightly smaller model than a lot of the ones on the Bulldogs, but all the connections are the same. Now on the X2Cs connected to existing LaserSpec controllers, they get their signals and commands through what looks like a network cable with a standard network cable end. The problem is, this is not a network cable and has nothing to do with the network. If you plug it into the back of a computer, you'll probably damage the computer or the inverter. The second problem is this cable is not shielded, so it picks up a lot of electrical noise and can take that back into the controller. So we want to upgrade to a better cable that has a different end and is shielded. So the first thing we need to do is power off our inverter for safety because we have 220 volts running inside of it. So back to your breaker, turn it off. When you do that, it will take typically about 5 to 10 seconds for the power to drain out of the capacitors. Then it will start flashing low voltage. And now we're safe to work on it. The first thing we need to do is remove the old cable. I've already loosened the screws off. You'll want to find a small screwdriver. Now we're not touching any of the great big screws that are connected to the power coming in or out to the spindle, the motor going out. We're just going to be touching the tiny little screws along here. So you will need a fine little screwdriver and you want to be quite gentle to these little screws. So go in, loosen all the screws that are holding the old connector in. Now I've just kind of put it back into place for the video, so don't worry about the order of or color of the old cable here. We're going to loosen all of these off, and then you should be able to pull each wire out and remove the old cable completely. You won't need this, so get rid of that. Now we're going to upgrade to our new metal shielded connector with our shielded cable and all of our ends. Now the ends have been labeled with a number and with the name. The number, you actually don't see the numbering on the TB Woods, but we're going to call this position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. Because there are more than one CM and more than one V+. It's not too important if they're mixed up, but this way there's no confusion. You just look at the number and you look at the name, match it up to the right spot, and in they go. So make sure that's not connected to anything, that the power is still off on our inverter. Feed the cable in through the bottom. You won't be able to do it if you don't do that first. Alright. Now is the boring part of the video where I'll just go through and install each one of these. It really doesn't matter what order, just grab a wire. So this one says number 20 NC. That's the very last spot is number 20. So get it in there. Tighten it down. Give the wire a little tug. Make sure that you've got it tight, but not really tight. We don't want to damage the screws or the connector. And then just keep going on all the rest of the connections. So here I have number 1 CM for common, and that's going to go at the other end. Just be careful, make sure you're not looking at a funny angle, that you're not off by one space. It's CM. That one's not tight enough yet. That's better. Make sure that
that you aren't accidentally putting the wire in the spot next to it. You actually look, make sure the label lines up with the screw, lines up with the spot that you're putting the wire into. Okay, we'll just keep going here. Number 17, ST1. Number 4, common, CM. And again, I'm not doing these in any particular order, just the ones I grabbed. Number 8, CM. Lots of CMs, lots of commons. You can see a few of my screws have become a little old and stiff. Number 19, second from the end, RCM. Number 9, forward, FWD. That gives the actual command to turn the spindle on in the forward clockwise direction. V plus, number 14. And V in 1, 6. This is the speed, the voltage in that controls how fast the spindle spins. Okay. So, when you are done, you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 wires in the connector. And then you have one more ground wire here. And this wire, you want to take it down to the actual frame ground here. Okay, you do not want it going to any of the high voltage or any of the connection spots. You want it to actual metal frame, and there's a spot down there that probably already has some other green or bare wires. That's where we want to go, is down there. If you can't get down there, then the second best place would be up here. It's all metal frame, it's all ground, it's all earth. So we'll just put that one down at the bottom. And it may have a fork crimped onto the end to make it more convenient for you. There we go. Ensure that all your wires are tight and snug. Give each one a little pull. Double check the labels that they're all correct. From left to right, it should go common 1, common 4, V in 6, CM 8, forward 9, V plus 14, ST1 17, RCM 19, and the last NC 20. All the connections are good. We don't have to change anything else. We're just replacing the cable and our new shielding to improve the electrical interference. Now you can connect the cable to your new Infinite controller. It just plugs in and screws on. And then you can power up the inverter again and test it. Thank you for watching.